Today we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can save and invest. And we're going to be reviewing 3 different entities. Those 3 entities are Ally Bank, Robinhood, and Stash. Now, before we even begin, if you're thinking that you don't have enough money or you don't know anything about investing, stay tuned, because number 1, you always have enough money to invest. It's just priorities. Number 2, you don't have to know a whole lot, and I'm going to tell you why that is. So, okay, let's back up. I am not of the mindset that someone needs to necessarily clear out all of their debt. I don't think you should live recklessly. So for instance, if you have $1,000 and you have thousands of dollars of debt, I don't want you to take the entire $1,000 and start investing it. But there are ways to invest with way less money. And the reason why I believe that it's important to do that rather than just stuffing every dime into an envelope or eating ramen noodles for 2 years while you knock out your debt is because a lot of people burn out doing that. Think of it this way. When you try to knock out debt like that, you're going to burn out. So let me give you an example. There are a lot of people that do crash diets or very severe diets, and they post their before and after pictures online, and they do great. However, many of them go back to gaining weight again. And you notice this because after a year or 2 or 6 months, you're not seeing all of those pictures of them in bikinis and Speedos, right? So the other end of this is you're not seeing all of the people that tried the crash diets and the severe diets and did not succeed. You're only seeing the ones that had a temporary, usually, success. So you're seeing the same thing online when it comes to money. You're going to see a lot of people holding up posters saying, I knocked out $89,000 of debt. Okay, talk to me in 5 years. Or how about all of the people that were stuffing envelopes or doing whatever very radical type of lifestyle and sacrificing and did not succeed? And on top of it, they were miserable the whole time. So I know what it is. I've worked with a lot of people who have had debt, and you can have debt and still, instead of buying X, Y, and Z or prioritizing X, Y, and Z, you can take some money and you can invest. So there's a psychological boost. There's an actual chemical reaction. There is dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, even endorphins that are engaged when you do something rewarding. And it's not always rewarding to eat ramen noodles for 2 years, but it is rewarding to start investing and saving and start to see a different lifestyle. That alone can make it easier for you to cut out debt because you're seeing the rewards. And when you're starting to be neurologically wired to notice the rewards and enjoy those rewards, it's so much easier to prioritize other areas of your life. So now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about the first one, which is Ally Bank. Now, I love Ally Bank. I bank with Ally Bank, and I think they are incredible. They don't teach you as much about investing or even banking, but they offer IRAs. They offer a lot of tax-free options. They also do have some education. They have a blog and they do quite a bit. They also give you the ability to start out with only $100 in your investment account. So if you normally spend $100 out for a night out with friends or a couple of pair of shoes or one pair of shoes, you can afford $100 that you set aside and open an investment account. You can do penny stocks, and some of them end up being fantastic. You can also do very economical stocks that are not technically penny stocks, and some of them are. So for instance, last year, one of the things that I started doing is as soon as COVID, actually it was about a year and a half ago, as soon as COVID hit, I thought we're going to need a vaccine for this. And I started researching, and before it was really heavily out in the news, I was already investing in, through Ally Bank, in a lot of different companies that were creating vaccines. And a lot of them you haven't even heard of because they started it and then it fizzled out. But there were a couple of big winners that I did have investments with. And that was Johnson & Johnson, BioNTech, Moderna, and Novavax. So I invested there. Now, You don't have to go that route. But let me tell you right now, I think Novavax right now, as I am doing this podcast, is at like $180. At one point, it was up to $270, I believe. But I think I bought it at maybe $14. So that can tell you how much you can make in a very short time. So Ally Bank is one option. I really like that they have a very clean, easy app, and you can move money very easily between not only different banks and different areas, but you can also use, I'm blanking out here. You can go back and forth between different banks and so forth, but also within your dashboard, because I'm not looking at it right now, sorry guys. So within your dashboard, you actually have your investments usually kind of at the top area, and then you have your bank area at the bottom, and then you also have some other investments. So everything is right in front of you. You have a really good bird's eye view of what's happening, and it's very easy to navigate. Love it. So on top of that, I think they're just, I think they're really good with customer service as well. So I just want to bring that up because there were a couple of times where my own user issue, I had an issue where I had to contact them and they were fantastic. Oh, I should also mention, in addition to the customer service, at one point I needed to get my card, and I believe my card was FedExed. So it was incredible. Like, the service was just incredible. Now let's move over to Robinhood. I also have Robinhood, and I know some people that use Robinhood and really enjoy it. And although I have Robinhood, I would say that it is not at all my primary source. Nothing against them. I just find Ally easier, and I feel that Ally offers more for a more serious investor. I almost feel like Robinhood markets more to maybe a younger male crowd, maybe. And Robinhood does a lot more with different types of investments, but they don't have tax advantaged accounts. So they don't have like an IRA or anything like that. So I don't really feel that Robinhood is exactly the best for a really full diversified portfolio. So I think it's really good to use because it's free to use. So if you're looking for something that is free, Robinhood is great. Robinhood does often give, they have a decent blog, and they don't technically offer education, but every now and then they do have some areas where you can find some research and so forth. So Robinhood is good. You have to do a little bit more elbow grease to get what you want. If you are really just quickly wanting to look at something and research it, and you're really serious about bigger investments, I would say that Robinhood may not be right for you, but it might be. So I have nothing against it. I just feel like if I'm comparing Ally and Robinhood, Ally wins by a landslide. Now let's go over to Stash. Stash is fantastic. You know what? I'm going to actually also bring one more up, and that is Coinbase. So Coinbase is definitely a little bit different, as they are more focused on more of, Bitcoin and all of that. So that's also something. I do want to mention with Coinbase, they also do tons of education, and just for you to get on there and learn, they give you a little bit here and there of actual stock. And I think that that's really good. I shouldn't call it technically stock. You're buying into, Bitcoin and so forth. But anyway, I'm not talking about Coinbase right now. Let's go into Stash. Now, Stash is great because it does help you to build a diversified portfolio. And the thing that they have is they have more of a membership. So with Stash, you can get stocks, you can get EFTs as well. However, you're going to pay a plan. And so the plan might be beginner, which is $1 a month, or you can go to growth, which is $3 a month, or you can go to Stash Plus, which is $9 a month. Now, these don't seem like a lot, okay? But it does add up. And I'm not a real big fan of, a lot of times you're already paying for the transfer fees, and you're paying different penalties if you switch things around too much. So you do have to be cognizant of how much you're planning on moving your money around to optimize it. So if you add that, plus you have a fee on top, that can be a problem. However, let me tell you what I love about them. So they have investing, they have a stock back card, they have retirement accounts, tax benefits, they have personalized retirement advice, they have even investing for children. They do have a lot, okay? But the biggest thing is they also have a learning center. So I would say that if you're very, very new to any type of investing or anything, I would say that Stash is fantastic. Now, Stash is the one that I don't use. It's only because I don't really want to focus as much on the learning aspect, because I don't feel that I'm in that space of where I need to learn the kind of things that they're teaching. Now, I do think that they have come a long way, so it's very possible that I might hop back over to them, because now I'm actually looking at their website as I'm speaking to you, and I feel pretty interested in some of this. Like a primer on cryptocurrency, understanding Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and other virtual currencies, where I really do know about that, but I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on it. So I'm interested in that learning center to see what they have. So I would say that in looking at these three, if you're already pretty comfortable with understanding your money and understanding where you are and how to optimize your money, I would say Ally. I would say that if you're looking for something where you want it to be inexpensive, as cheap as possible, but you do want to have the option of doing things and you do not mind doing a ton of research on your own, I would say Robinhood. And I would say that if you're really just starting out and you want to be guided more and you really want to be guided into a portfolio, I would say that Stash is the way to go. So you could try all of those out. And again, I think it's very important for you to start diving into something that is not just paying off debt. Because I know a lot of people who are listening to this podcast have some kind of debt, or they have some kind of a financial struggle going on emotionally. But I want you to know that you are absolutely worth investing in yourself. And part of investing in yourself is having something that's rewarding and positive where you learn along the way. So hopefully this has helped you, and I'll talk to you soon.